to live, work, and create on these beautiful homelands. Enjoy the show.
There's so many of you. I'm very nervous. I'm so sorry. But hi, and welcome to the New Play Festival 2022. So, very professional. I'm going to be looking off of my phone for this, but my name is Paige, if I haven't met you before, and I am the coordinator for this year's festival. Although he is not here tonight, I want to extend a huge thank you to my co-coordinator. His name is Guerrero, and he will take over next year, and I'm really excited to see what he does with the festival. So we've got a beautiful cast behind us. I promise I'm going to be quick. I have a lot of thank yous, but I just want to acknowledge that this is the first year where graduate students are running the festival, and the impetus behind that is I was kind of like, yeah, we could probably do that, right? It's probably pretty easy. And it turns out running a play festival is actually really hard, so I have a long list of people to thank because this wouldn't be possible without them. So the production team, which is Ben and Johnny and Sarah and McKenna and Dorothy and Gus and Chris and Brianna and Cosme. They're phenomenal people. They're extremely hard workers. They put in really long hours so that we can all come up here and have fun together. We have a brilliant casting director. Her name is Adriana. We have a brilliant head student dramaturg. Her name is Julia. We are indebted to her. Kate Ange and her entire dramaturgy class, some of whom are in the audience tonight, they helped us pilot our first dramaturgy program. So playwrights got to hear their plays and get feedback so they could adapt them for tonight. Our directors for tonight, we have Professors Kimberly, Guerrero, and Ricardo Hines. Or not Ricardo Hines, you're tomorrow. Sorry, Ricardo Rocha is in the audience though. Yeah, there we go. There's a lot of names, I'm so sorry. I have 2 nights of this. So they are really caring with the plays tonight, Kimberly and Ricardo, and our cast and playwrights are so thankful to you all. We have visionary playwrights tonight, the premieres of plays by Charlie Belusa and Lily Hart, so give them a round of applause. I promise I'm hurrying. We have a beautiful cast of talented actors, and a lot of them, this is their final show with UCR, so is anybody graduating? Any actors are graduating? Stand up, stand up, stand up, yeah, stand up. Our actors are brilliant here, and I'm really excited for you all to see their work. But the biggest thank you tonight, and I promise I'm not going to cry, but I love her so dearly, and it's to our artistic director, Kimberly. Wow, I'm getting emotional. I'm so sorry. She is the heart and soul of this program here. If you haven't met her before, and I'm so sorry if you haven't, to be mentored and cared for by Kimberly is a gift and an honor to everyone on this stage. So, Kimberly, we all love you so dearly, and tonight wouldn't have happened without you, so please give a round of applause to her. All right, so a couple of really quick housekeeping announcements. We've got a 15-minute intermission between shows tonight. We'll pick up with Charlie's show, then we'll have Lily's. Please take note of the exits around you so that we are not all in a flurry if anything has to happen this evening, and enjoy the show. Enjoy.
By Charlie Belusa. Graham's house, an apartment in an assisted living facility. Everything is floral patterned and most of it is crocheted or knitted. The door opens and Miriam, a young woman in her early 20s, lets herself in while balancing a bag of groceries on her hip. In one corner, a kitchen table, in another, a card table. There are 4 chairs at the card table, none in the kitchen.
Graham!
Miriam starts unloading bottles of alcohol from the bags. Maybe a loaf of bread, a bottle of Metamucil, but mostly liquor.
Graham, are you ready?
Miriam finishes unloading the groceries and looks around. There's been no response.
Graham?
The door opens again and Gladys and Rhoda, at least 70, rush in. Gladys, as always, is carrying a cake. Gladys throws her arms around Miriam and starts to cry. Her tears are exaggerated and well-practiced.
Oh, Miriam! What are you doing here? It's Tuesday, Rhoda.
Rhoda and Gladys exchange a look. Miriam glances in the direction of the door, but it stays closed.
It's just so very...
That's very optimistic of you.
Can you go see if Graham is ready?
She isn't.
Well, she better be soon or you're all gonna be late for the game.
Ugh, Miriam!
Gladys falls into another fit of tears, which Miriam and Rhoda do their damnedest to ignore.
Helen's not playing bridge today, Miriam.
If you're about to tell me is she sick?
Did she not call you?
I'm gonna take Helen her cake.
Do not take that whole cake to Graham in her bedroom.
Cream cheese icing.
Gladys looks to Rhoda, who nods approval. Gladys exits.
Are you pushing Gladys to give her diabetes so we can all feel less guilty about enabling her alcoholism?
Miriam.
Have you called Dolores?
Miriam.
Or can you go to her room and check on her?
Miriam.
Graham will kill her if she makes you all late again.
Miriam. Dolores is already dead.
Miriam freezes.
Graham?
No. She just fell asleep and didn't wake up. The way we all fantasize it'll happen.
Graham must be heartbroken.
I thought she would have called you.
She didn't.
Helen marches out of the bedroom looking quite disheveled and carrying the cake with no sentimentality. She slams it on the counter.
It has carrots, Helen, and nutmeg. Just try it.
Gladys.
I put in walnuts just for you.
Helen grabs one of the bottles of vodka and marches back the way to cake.
Graham?
Helen turns back and takes a swig from the bottle while making full eye contact.
Ooh, and cloves.
Helen exits and Gladys follows, once again carrying the cake.
She looks awful.
She's been drinking since Thursday, and then waiting for you to bring more vodka, and now drinking again.
You could have called me.
I knew you'd bring vodka eventually.
I need to check on her to make sure she was okay.
She's fine.
She doesn't look fine.
Yeah, I don't think she's actually all right.
You and Gladys are gonna have to find a way to cheer her up.
She's not our grandmother.
You all just lost one of your best friends.
Dolores wasn't a friend. She was a bridge partner.
And what, you think that makes this easier?
No. It makes it worse.
We have to help her get through this.
I'll follow your lead.
Miriam looks around for inspiration. She picks up a small jar.
Graham, I brought olives.
Helen marches back in, once again returning the cake. Gladys is following close behind.
I can cut it for you, Helen. I'll get you a big piece.
Helen reaches for the olives, but Miriam pulls them away.
Graham, we should talk.
We can talk when I'm dead.
I think you'll find, in fact, that you cannot.
Let's talk about this cake. I made it special just for you, and you haven't even tried it.
No.
Do you want to talk about Dolores?
No.
Do you want to go outside, take a walk?
No.
Okay, we can stay in. Did you get the email I sent you about your new cable rates?
I can't find my password.
You can't remember your password?
Can't find it. I wrote it down, but I lost it.
You wrote it? Please don't do that.
Either I'm gonna lose it or I'm gonna forget it.
Then just forget it.
You're the one who said you wanted to talk.
No, I meant forget the...
Miriam, do you want to try the cake?
Not right now, Gladys. How come you didn't tell me Dolores died?
What are you, the coroner? You couldn't fix it. And it looks like everybody else already told you anyway.
Not till I got here to take you to bridge.
If I told you any sooner, you wouldn't have brought the vodka.
Cheers to that.
See you next week.
So you'll play bridge next week, you'll find a new partner, and everything's gonna go back to normal?
No, but next week you'll bring more vodka.
Helen disappears with the vodka. Gladys follows with the cake.
You need to ask Helen to teach you bridge.
Are you crazy?
Not according to my therapist, but according to all my children.
I don't want to learn bridge, Rhoda. I don't have time.
You take Tuesdays off anyway. Never been a problem before.
To drive you to the club for 3 hours, and I sit in the lobby on my laptop.
This is the only way to get Helen to be happy again.
No, it isn't.
It is. She's old and lonely.
And there are plenty of people at the club that she can play with.
There really aren't. There are plenty of people at the club, but none of them are going to play with Helen.
Why not?
Because her bridge is weird.
That's ridiculous.
It's true. You're the only one who can help her pass the loss of Dolores.
This is why nobody likes boomers.
Because we play bridge?
No, because you attempt to emotionally manipulate everyone else to bend to your will.
It works.
No, it doesn't. If it did, my mother would drive you to bridge every week instead of me.
What about financial manipulation? Do you hate boomers for that too?
More than anything.
1 semester.
Stop it.
If you play bridge with Helen, I'll pay your tuition for 1 semester.
My tuition's out of state.
All the more reason to stay and get it paid for. Ask her to teach you.
This is absurd.
She's been a real drag since Dolores died.
Yes, we do hate boomers for this too.
Fine, we're the worst. Ask her.
I'll stay for 1 hour.
Cute.
What's cute?
You're not gonna learn how to play bridge in 1 hour.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I've never left money on a blackjack table in Vegas, you know.
This is different.
Just the worst. The absolute worst.
1 semester to sit down and learn to play cards with your grandmother.
You're evil.
Helen, it's your deal.
Rhoda sits at the card table and starts to shuffle a deck of cards. Miriam tries to sit down across from her, but Rhoda stops mid-shuffle and shakes her head.
What does it matter?
It matters.
The shuffle calls Helen and Gladys to the table, and Gladys takes her seat across from Rhoda.
Since when do you play bridge?
I was...
Miriam looks to Rhoda, who covertly prods her to keep going.
hoping you could teach me how.
No,
No?
I don't need anybody's pity.
Rhoda kicks Miriam under the table.
Ah! Please, Grim, I really want to learn.
Helen, still skeptical, takes her seat.
Nothing fancy. No 2/1 or precision. No don't or coquish or august or anything weird.
I don't even know what you're saying.
Good.
So Helen's your partner and Gladys is mine.
And normal Blackwood.
You can explain it all as we go, Helen.
Rhoda deals out all the cards. Miriam watches everyone else pick up their cards and then does the same.
We are going. So, can someone start explaining, please?
Gladys, Rhoda, and Helen freeze.
How the hell do you teach bridge?
We all get 13 cards.
Okay.
And everybody plays a card one at a time.
Okay.
And whatever suit the first person plays, you have to play the same suit if you can. Highest card wins.
Okay, easy.
Yeah, unless there's a trump suit.
Right. Sometimes one of the suits is stronger than all the other ones. A trump suit. So 2 could beat a king if the 2 is trump and the king isn't.
Okay, how do we know if there's a trump suit?
Full stop.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Mir.
That's a simple question.
That's the hardest question.
Okay, how does scoring work?
Don't worry about scoring.
How am I supposed to learn if I don't even know how to score points?
Don't worry about scoring.
If I'm gonna play, you have to at least explain the scoring.
Scoring depends on which suit is trump.
Gladys?
If spades is trump and you take 7 tricks, you get 80 points. 80 tricks is 110, 9 tricks is 140, 10 tricks is 170.
Except when it's 420.
Yep. Sometimes it's 420.
Except when it's 620.
Right. It can be 620.
And it can be 590.
Right.
Oh, or 790.
Exactly. If spades is trump and you win 10 rounds of cards, it's 170 or 420 or 620 or 590 or 790.
You know what? I just won't worry about scoring.
Miriam fans her cards.
1 no trump.
Pass.
I don't know what...
Gladys leans over to look.
Here, let me help you, dear. You bid 4 hearts.
4 hearts?
Gladys nods.
But what about...
That's
what it means.
But you don't even...
If it means you have a lot of spades.
Means spades.
But you said hearts.
Yup.
Yep.
4 hearts.
Pass.
4 spades.
Pass.
Miriam shows Gladys her cards again, but Gladys doesn't look.
Now what?
That's enough.
Now you just pass.
Pass?
Pass. Now you put your hand down on the table.
We don't play them?
I do, but you're the dummy.
That's not very...
It's just what it's called. Helen won the auction, so she's the declarer. You're her partner, so you're the dummy. Gladys and I are defenders.
Defenders? You make it sound like you're at war.
We are.
We are.
Have a piece of cake, dear. I added a little nutmeg to the recipe.
I think I actually need a drink.
Miriam pours herself a drink when the others play the hand silently. When Miriam returns to the table, they scoop up the cards and Helen begins to shuffle for the next hand.
See how fun it is?
Yes, I see exactly how fun it is. It's fun enough that there's time to fix a drink in between rounds.
Yes, it's all very efficient.
And how long do you play?
Till you're dead.
I meant how long do you play at one time?
At the club, 4 hours. At home, till someone has to go to bed.
But you do know this is just a card game,
That's
right?
like saying vodka is just a drink.
We should probably have a conversation about that at some point too.
Dolores didn't drink herself to death.
That's not what I'm saying. I just think
And even if she did, you don't have to suddenly care because she's gone.
I don't suddenly care. I just care.
Okay, good. 1 club.
I just thought I'd see what all the fuss was about.
2 clubs.
Pass.
Miriam turns her hand to Gladys.
I don't know what to do. I just have hearts and spades.
That's what Helen has.
What?
Yeah, hearts and spades.
But she said clubs.
But she meant hearts and spades.
Yeah.
So nothing about this game makes sense.
Everything about this game makes sense.
Perfect sense.
Helen stands up.
Don't hold up the game.
It's not my turn to bid.
Miriam's going to bid 2 hearts.
I am?
Yes.
Helen pours a glass of vodka.
Get back to the table, please.
It's still not my bid.
Pass. Can we stay focused since Miriam's new?
She's not new. She's patronizing me. She hasn't cared about this in 45 years, and she doesn't care about it now.
Everyone stares at Helen.
Wrong kid.
What?
I haven't even been alive for 45 years. I think you're trying to complain about my mom.
Well, the apple in the tree, you know what it is.
I've never agreed with you more. And I'm allowed to show an interest in your life without being the bad guy.
Fine, I pass. Show an interest now.
Rhoda puts Helen's cards face up on the table. Helen returns to her seat.
Now you get to play with all of Helen's cards too. You still want to take as many rounds as you can, but you only have to take 8.
Rhoda stops and takes in Helen's cards.
You can't do that, Helen.
The hell I can't.
What you do?
She only has 4 hearts.
Oh, Helen.
You should have 5-5. You should have 5-5 for Michael.
I know what I should have.
So why on earth did you bid this
Oh,
way?
get off it.
It doesn't make you a very good partner, Helen.
Okay, go sit on your cake, Gladys.
Helen!
Don't tell me how to play my cards.
Spades, spades, clubs, cards, diamonds, hearts, 13.
Everyone turns to Miriam.
What the hell are you talking about?
Gladys bid 1 club.
Right.
And then Helen bid 2 clubs.
I know.
And she can't want to play clubs because Gladys bid clubs. So even if Helen has clubs, she's much better off letting Gladys fail to make her bid than bidding clubs herself. So saying 2 clubs there means she has 5 hearts and 5 spades.
But as you can see,
Gladys gestures to Helen's face of cards.
It's probably fine. I have tons of hearts.
At least one of you is sensible.
But it still makes you look like an ass.
The pros break rules like this all the time, and you know it.
You're not a pro.
There are professional bridge players.
They're professional everything.
Wait, how much money do you gamble to play bridge, Graham?
None.
Nobody gambles when they play bridge.
oh, that's not true. I heard in Bermuda it's one big high stakes.
God damn it, Gladys! Nobody gambles around here. And nobody wants to play with people who bid Michaels with 5-4.
Helen gets up from the table and storms off.
And nobody wants to play with people.
God damn it, Gladys!
Rhoda goes after Helen.
How's school going, dear?
It's fine, Gladys.
Good, good. Did you try the cake?
I will. When I get hungry, I will.
It's cream cheese icing, but I don't think Helen likes carrot cake. I think this was a Dolores cake.
I'm sure she loves it, Gladys.
Oh, you're such a sweetheart, dear. Always being so nice to everybody. I understand.
There's nothing to understand. I'm not speaking in code. It's a good cake.
Did you ever meet Ruthie Marston? No, you wouldn't have. She lived about a block away from the old J.C. Penney. She was a terrible bridge player. I mean, just awful. I saw her pass a Texas transfer 3 times in 1 weekend. I mean, can you believe it?
I don't know what that means, Gladys.
No, you wouldn't. It's bad. Helen doesn't play them, so don't worry about it. But it's bad. Still, she never had trouble finding a partner. More people wanted Ruthie Marston as their partner than wanted Michael Fletcher, and he was a pro. He played in the Silver 1 year. Can you believe it?
I don't know what that means either, Gladys.
No, you wouldn't. I always wondered how Ruthie got so many bridge partners. She had a partner for every game. Good partners, too. So one day at the 299ers, I asked her what her secret was, and she told me.
Well, what was it?
Nutmeg.
Nutmeg at bridge?
Yep. Ruthie brought the treats, and if you played the Ruthie, you took home all the leftovers. And she put nutmeg in everything. Carrot cake, zucchini bread, brownies, ginger snaps, snickerdoodles, nutmeg.
So that's where you got it, huh?
Oh, absolutely, dear. When she had her first stroke, she stopped baking and swooped right in. They said, "It's so nice of you to help Ruthie, Goddess." And then she died. And they stopped saying it was nice of me to help her and just started saying it was nice of me to be her. So great of you to bring refreshment, Gladys. And their masterpiece of a cake, Gladys.
That's...
You can get good bridge partners with cute grandkids too. Or with financial advice. Or gardening tips. I did it with nutmeg. Edmund died and I made cookies.
What does my grandpa's death have to do with your cakes?
That's how Helen got partners. Edmund died and everybody felt bad for her.
This can't be true.
Well, no, not everybody.
No, I meant the part about...
Just think, if I never found nutmeg, I'd have never met you.
You'd still be around, Gladys.
Maybe. Hard to say for sure.
No, it isn't. You wouldn't have disappeared from bridge without nutmeg.
No, not from bridge. Just from everything.
Gladys,
If you don't have someone to bake for, what's the point?
you'd have found someone else to bake for.
Oh, I did. And he left too.
Where'd he go?
Found a new partner. She played 2-over-1, played it early, and he was hooked.
Helen and Rhoda return.
I'm sorry for not making dependable bids.
Rhoda nods her approval and they both say.
Even though you have no idea what bids mean anyway, so it couldn't matter less.
Rhoda glares at her.
Well, alrighty then. 2 hearts.
So now you get to use Helen's cards too. See how she has the ace of hearts? That's one trick. And you have the king. That's another trick. And Helen has the queen. That's another trick.
How did you know I have the king?
You have to.
But how did you know?
Because I know how many points I have, and I know my partner didn't bid, and I know you stopped in 2 hearts.
How many points you have? I thought you didn't know until we saw how many rounds of cards we take. And even then, it's stupidly confusing.
She's talking about a different kind of points.
How many kinds of points are there?
2.
A bunch.
There's high card points and scorekeeping points.
And match points.
And master
And
points.
international match points.
This game sounds so...
Miriam catches Rhoda's warning look and changes direction.
confusing.
The only one you need to know about is the high card points.
Okay.
4 points for every ace, 3 for every king, 2 for every queen, and 1 for every jack.
That's how you know if you have a good hand.
You can't tell just by looking?
Sure, but that's how you tell Helen how good your hand is.
If you have more than 12, bid something.
Unless Helen has already bid something, then you bid something if you have more than 6.
I either need a pen and paper or another drink.
I recommend both.
Miriam gets up to get a pen and paper, then returns to the table.
Okay, so 5 for...
Here,
Helen takes the paper and pats the top of her head.
has anyone seen my reading glasses?
They're around your neck, dear.
Oh, go to hell, Gladys.
Me? But I found them
I
for
don't
you.
need your help.
Well, you asked for it. You said, has anyone seen...
I know what I said, Gladys, but you don't have to dear me. Go home.
I am going home. But not because you told me to. I have to find my ginger snap recipe.
Gladys?
No, Miriam. I can tell when I'm not wanted.
Gladys.
And you're a terrible bridge teacher. I wouldn't want to learn from either of you if my whole life depended on it. Gladys. And you don't want to try my cake? My cake? You think you're better than my cake? Fine. See if I bring any more cakes.
Nobody cares about your stupid cake, Gladys.
Okay, that's enough. You're all acting like children.
Gladys storms out. Helen does too, but in a different direction.
Not bad for a first lesson.
Not bad. Graham and Gladys are screaming at each other and they both stormed out. That's not bad.
That's bridge. And I give it 5 minutes before they both come back with their tails between their legs. Anyway, you should have seen the way Helen used to argue with Edmund at the bridge table.
Grandpa didn't play bridge.
I'd agree with you, kid, but he would not. Edmund thought he was the best player in the valley. He was. And one day, for about 45 seconds, because he put a club in with his spades when he sorted his hand, but he made his spade contract and he never let anyone forget it.
I never saw him play bridge.
You were too short.
Too short?
You always sat underneath the table with your video games or your coloring books instead of sitting around the table with the rest of us. And you probably tuned them out so you could convince yourself they never argued.
You and Grandpa and Graham and Gladys and Dolores?
No, Dolores, not yet. Helen didn't start playing with her until Edmund died. She replaced him, and now you're replacing her. Circle of life.
I'm not replacing her. Not for good. This game is too confusing. You wanted me to learn. I did. We're done.
Done with Helen?
Done with bridge.
You can't be done with bridge if you're not done with Helen.
Oh, yes, I can.
No, you can't. Because this is who she is, and without it, she's an ordinary old biddy.
She might just have to stay that way because you haven't said one thing that makes sense yet. And she's already screamed at everyone here.
You're still thinking of bridge as a card game.
It is! It's a stupid, frustrating, awful card game.
No, it's a language, and it's the one Helen speaks most fluently. She can't find partners at the club because she uses old-fashioned lingo and no one remembers what those words mean anymore. But if you learn from her, she can teach you whatever she wants. Hell, she can teach you that Michael shows 5 spades and 4 hearts.
Every time you say something new, this whole thing gets way more confusing.
Just be patient with her. Eventually, you'll understand the game and the slang and the sarcasm she uses at the bridge table.
Bridge has sarcasm?
It does if you speak it, right?
I don't think I can learn to speak to computers and learn to speak to my grandmother at the same time.
Kid, no one else speaks bridge the way Helen does. You need to let her teach you.
Helen returns and cuts the cake.
If it goes to waste, she'll throw an absolute fit.
She already threw a fit. You weren't very nice, Graham.
Oh, pardon-moi! How foolish of me to be unkind for half a minute with one of my oldest friends and treat her like a person instead of like a child. How silly of me to not be over Dolores' death already like the rest of you and walk around whistling Bing Crosby. Yes, how uncalled for that I let my temper get the best of me because she couldn't give me half a second to buy my glasses on my own.
Okay. I can understand that Graham would speak sarcasm while playing bridge.
You did ask where they were, Helen.
Stay out of it, Rhoda.
Well, you did.
Whose side are you on?
Miriam and I were just talking about bridge.
Oh, is that right?
Rhoda motions for Miriam to tell Helen. Miriam braces herself for the confession.
Yeah, Graham.
I'll call the reporters, I guess.
Miriam was saying she's going to come back next week. Drive us all to the bridge club.
Great. I hope you all have a grand time.
I've been taking you to your game since you taught me how to drive. I'm not going to back out now.
Great. Too bad I'm not going.
You have to.
Oh, I do.
Yes, because Miriam wants to learn this game, and you know that no one else is going to want to play with someone this new.
That's for sure.
I'm doing the best I can, you know, and we haven't even played 2 rounds yet.
They're called hands, Mary.
So you either come to the club or break the kid's heart.
Fine, I'll go. I'll play. I'll even eat Gladys' stupid cake, but if anybody asks, oh, Helen, we're so sorry to hear about Dolores, I'll punch them in the mouth.
Everyone's gonna say that, Helen.
I know. God damn, that's good cake.
Helen takes the cake to the table with a couple extra forks.
You should tell Gladys.
She knows.
You should tell her.
Fine.
Helen starts shuffling the cards.
We can't play without Gladys.
She'll be back in a minute.
You were so mean to her.
But she knows.
Knows what?
All of it.
Helen deals the cards, but not the whole deck. After 7 cards, Rhoda picks up her cards.
What's this?
Something a little Miriam speed. Go fish.
The door opens and Gladys returns. She waves a recipe card at the group.
I found it. I found my snickerdoodle recipe.
Good. Then come sit down.
Gladys joins the others at the table and Helen deals her in.
You're eating the cake.
It's delicious, Gladys.
It's the cream cheese icing.
I know.
What's this?
Go fish.
Why?
Because you weren't here.
They all fan their cards.
Mary, do you have any 7s?
Go fish.
Helen reaches for the stack of cards on the table.
Oh, here. I have a 7, Helen.
Gladys hands Helen a card.
No, Gladys, that's...
Oh, I have 7 too.
Thank you.
Helen puts the cards face up on the table.
Gladys, do you have any twos?
No, sorry.
You say go fish.
Oh, all right, dear. Bats.
It's not that
I
hard.
have a 2.
Helen hands her the card.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Your turn, Mary.
Okay, fine. Does anyone have any jacks?
You have to ask one specific person.
Why?
Because that's how you play the game.
Yeah, but you all are...
Go fish.
Graham?
Helen checks.
Actually, no, I don't.
Gladys?
Woo! Fish.
No, it's... You know what? Never mind. I'll just go fish.
Miriam, do you have any kings?
This is actually really boring, isn't it?
It's awful!
The worst.
We could play something else. Canasta?
Blank stares from the group.
Spades?
Silence.
Gin rummy?
Gladys pats Miriam's hand.
Nothing else is ever really going to be interesting again, dear.
That sounds like a bit of an overstatement.
Yes, I'm sure it does.
Fine, we can go back to bridge.
Gladys gathers the deck and hands them to Miriam, who begins shuffling.
What happened with 2 hearts?
We never played it.
Pity. I wanted to see if my 10 was going to set up.
Miriam deals the cards and they all pick up their hands.
You get to bid first because you dealt.
Miriam stares at her cards for a bit.
And I bid if I have more than 12?
Yes.
1 spade?
Pass.
4 no trump.
Pass.
Pat.
Gladys claps a hand over Miriam's mouth.
No. You can pass here, dear.
Why not?
Because for no trump is a question, you have to answer it first.
4 no trump is a question?
I told you, this whole game is a language.
It means how many aces do you have?
Okay, what do I do if I have 3?
You say 5 diamonds.
No, you say 5 hearts.
5 hearts?
It's Helen.
Oh, right. 5 clubs says 1, 5 diamonds says 2, 5 hearts says 3, 5 spades says 4.
What's the other way?
5 clubs says 1 or 4, 5 diamonds says 0 or 3, 5 hearts says 2, but you don't have the queen of spades. 5 spades says 2, and you do have the queen of spades.
Is this a joke? Has this whole night been a joke? Are you all pranking me?
Why would we do that?
5 hearts says I don't have the queen of spades.
Sometimes it's a useful thing, you know,
No, it isn't.
but not this time. 5 hearts says you have 3 aces.
Okay, 5 hearts.
Pass.
5 no trump.
Pass.
Pat.
No. Kings now.
6 hearts?
You don't have the king of hearts.
No, I have 3 of them.
Do you have the king of clubs?
Yes.
Say 5 clubs.
5 clubs?
Pass.
7 hearts.
Helen.
She has 3 kings and 3 aces, and I have this. She'll be fine.
Pass.
Pass.
Gladys nods.
Pass.
Helen puts her cards down face up.
You have to take all the tricks, every round of cards.
Miriam looks at Helen's cards.
I think I can do it.
Of course you can.
I have the ace, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8 of hearts, and Graham has the king. And Graham has the king, queen, jack of clubs, and I have the ace and the 10 and the 9. I have the ace and king of diamonds, and...
Yeah, good job. And you're claiming already, too. I didn't think that would happen this early.
Miriam's a natural.
There's no such thing as a bridge natural, Gladys. Everybody has to hate bridge before they can be any good at it.
Did you teach my mom to play bridge? Is that why she hates it so much?
The others all look caught in headlights.
No,
Because she despises this game.
I know.
How come you never tried to teach her?
She would have said no.
You don't know that.
Your deal, Gladys.
Yes, I do.
Helen, give me cards.
Maybe my mom would have loved this game.
She wouldn't have.
You seem pretty sure of yourself.
I am.
Why?
Because there's a national tournament over Thanksgiving.
So?
So your mother thinks I should have been home basting a turkey.
You left my mom home alone on Thanksgiving to go play bridge?
Don't be ridiculous. We took her with us.
Wow, you're awful.
So I've been told.
Do you remember the Nationals when Edmund had ace, 10, 4s of spades and opened a spade because he had mixed a club in with them?
He mixed his clubs and spades up almost every time we played together.
Miriam hasn't mixed up her suits once.
Well, Edmund was a bit of a dunce.
Hey, he was still my grandfather.
I bet Miriam could help you make it.
Gladys, stop.
Make what?
Just drop it.
Make what?
Life Master.
Okay, but what?
Helen and Dolores were going to try to get their Life Masters at National, but now, well,
Miriam could do it. Then we can play with you, Helen.
I haven't qualified for nationals.
I need a nap.
You don't qualify for nationals. You just go.
Then what's so special about nationals? You've been playing bridge your whole life. If you're not a master at it by now, I don't know who is.
To be a life master, I need 50 black points, which you get at the club, 50 silver points, which you get at local tournaments, and 50 gold points, which you get at nationals.
Oh.
And I still need 6 gold points.
What happens if you don't get those 6 gold points?
Then I've wasted my life sitting at the card tables for nothing.
Well, that's not...
You can come wake me when you're done talking about this.
Helen exits.
Gladys is right, you know.
About what?
Everything. You could play with Helen at nationals.
After 10 minutes?
Nationals is just like this.
Oh, they walk you through every decision to make sure you're doing it right?
Well, no.
It has more people.
There is that.
And they're way better at bridge.
Gladys,
Some of them are.
you won't be playing against the pros. They'll be in different events. But you could play with Helen.
I'm not traveling to a fancy tournament to spend the day losing at bridge.
The week.
What?
Nationals last for a week.
Oh my God, no.
It's wonderful, Mary. You'd love it.
Come to nationals.
No.
It wasn't a question.
Excuse me?
This was part of the deal.
No, it absolutely wasn't.
What deal?
But it is now.
How can you be such a terrible person?
Baby boomer, remember?
I was joking about that. There are actually a lot of great baby boomers in the world.
Fine, I'm sure there are plenty of kids who don't care about teeth, but you're gonna do this.
You know what? You sure know how to implode a pleasant evening.
You have no idea how much it would mean to her to get her life master before she dies.
She's not dying.
That's what everyone would have said about Dolores.
This is the first time I've seen her happy in a week.
You think Graham's been happy tonight?
Happier.
No.
This is part of the deal.
No, it isn't.
What deal?
Rhoda offered me $8,000 to learn bridge. That's how much she thinks no one else wants to play with Graham.
She can be pretty obstinate at the bridge table.
$8,000?
I told you he was out of state.
I said 1 semester.
Yes, $8,000.
God, Miriam, if I'd have known that, we would have spent the whole night playing Go Fish.
Well, it's too late now.
Yeah, if you come to nationals.
Hey, you're like a professional bridge player. This is about how much you make, I think.
Helen enters with an empty plate and goes for the cake.
You should tell her.
Gladys.
Tell who?
You.
Gladys?
Tell me what?
Gladys?
Rhoda paid Miriam $8,000 to play bridge with you tonight.
Helen drops the cake knife.
Is it that expensive to spend time with your grandmother?
It wouldn't have been no, but she offered.
And why the hell would you do that?
I said 1 semester school. I didn't know it was $8,000.
How desperate did you think I was then for a bridge partner?
I don't know. 500?
Well, I am not that desperate, but thank you for playing matchmaker.
I just thought if she played it for a minute, she'd see what we like about it. She's a computer geek.
Thank
and
you.
they're good at bridge. They like puzzles.
And you?
Oh, okay. Yes, I understand how this sounds.
Do you?
But in my defense, you used to walk out of the bridge club with such a huge smile on your face. Even when you and Dolores had a terrible game, you always had something you were proud of to talk about in the car. I wanted you to have that back.
I don't have to smile for you, for any of you. Dolores died, my partner died, and you're all selling time with me like you think I need a goddamn babysitter? I've lost 2 bridge partners now, and you all think I should be walking around watching the world through rose glasses?
You're not the only person in the room who's lost a bridge partner.
What?
You also used to play with me. Before Edmund. You abandoned me when you got married. But I lost you long before you lost Edmund or Dolores.
This is hardly the time for that conversation.
All right, when would you like to have this conversation?
Helen doesn't answer.
We all lost Dolores, Helen. She was our 4th. And unless you want to play Go Fish forever, we're gonna need a replacement because we can't play with 3.
I'll find someone at the club.
Nobody plays bridge like you anymore. And Helen, I'm sorry, but you are grumpy all the time.
She's my granddaughter. If anyone was going to pay her to learn bridge, it should have been me.
Absolutely, you can have it. You want to pay her the $8,000 for today? Go right ahead.
Jesus, nobody has to pay me for today. Save your money for retirement.
My retirement's almost over.
What?
Being friends with these two, it's so stressful.
Knock it off,
See
Gladys!
what I mean?
You're being ridiculous.
You're all being ridiculous.
I should have stayed home and made snickerdoodles.
Lots of people still play bridge like I do.
Sure, when you're a pleasant person, you have no trouble finding a
Oh,
partner.
well, I do apologize for losing my temper.
This is her sarcastic voice, just so everybody knows.
Gladys sits down and shuffles a deck.
Why don't you just keep your nose out of my family business?
Well, if you never teach your family to play bridge, then it's not family business.
Then keep your nose out of my business and keep your pity to yourself.
Gladys passes out a few cards to everyone.
Rhoda,
What?
do you have any force?
Rhoda glances quickly.
No.
Miriam glances at her cards.
Here you go, Gladys. I have one.
Thank you.
It wasn't pity, Graham. We all just care about you, and we cared about Dolores too. And we don't want you to have to hurt because she's not here anymore.
Helen tears up.
She was my partner for 17 years,
Miriam hugs Helen.
I know.
and she's gone.
I know.
We were always in sync.
I know, Graham.
Rhoda puts a hand on Helen's shoulder.
I'll help you find a new partner, Helen.
That's not what I need.
What do you need?
Do you have any queens?
Miriam checks her cards.
Go fish.
Here, Helen.
Thank you.
This game really is so boring. It was boring already, but the way you all play...
Miriam collects all the cards and sits down to shuffle. She deals out all the cards and then sorts and fans her own while the others watch.
One spade.
Everyone gathers at the card table and sits down to join the game. End of play.
In the Way, written by Hart and directed by Ricardo Rocha. Setting, modern day. The set is a clean science lab. The lab's only entrance is upstage right. Center stage is a large countertop called the front lab bench, which holds Matilda's machine and a lamp. Along the back is a back lab bench beside an overflowing filing cabinet. Wires connect the filing cabinet to Matilda's machinery. Upstage left sits a pitiful couch. Downstage left is a pair of school desks. Act 1, Scene 1. Lights up on the lab. Things look frantic. Bottles of empty Mountain Dew, takeout boxes. Ivy runs back and forth throwing trash into a garbage bag.
Oh, I went to fix my problems, and my problems got worse. Oh, I went to fix my problems, and my problems got worse. Okay, I swear, universe, I will recycle bottles, break for all animals, and never skip class again. If just this once someone could please.
Can you show me how to use that?
No, not right now. Think.
You look so cool using that.
Yeah?
Ivy pulls out a fire extinguisher that was hidden behind the counter. Its hose hangs down, clearly has been used.
So cool.
Here, now that I've got that cleaned up, do you want to match?
Ivy takes a light bulb and screws it to the top of the machine. It glows red.
What do you think, kid? Red and red.
Is someone going to break this one too?
No. Can you go away like I taught you so I can keep cleaning?
You got it, boss.
The red light goes out.
Boss! I'm a genius! I'm a genius! Genius!
Ivy starts to put the fire extinguisher in the trash. She catches herself.
Oh, dumb choice. Just breathe. You've got time to fix this.
Lights down. Act 1, Scene 2. Lights up on the lab. The couch has been made into a makeshift bed where Ivy is sleeping. The lights are low. Jamie sits aimlessly at the front counter. She is bright and colorful, with pink stains on her jeans and homemade earrings. Jamie picks up her phone, and a ringing begins off stage.
Hey, are you with Roger by any chance?
Anthony enters and doesn't notice Jamie. His phone is pressed to his ear.
No, he's already at the lab.
No.
You're at the lab.
You can probably hang up your phone now. I'm not really here. I just wanted this stuff
She picks up a box of belongings off the ground and puts them on the lab bench.
out of my apartment. Terrible vibes. It's all Roger's stuff.
Why didn't you just give the box to Roger last night?
Why would I do him any favors?
I thought you two were above fighting with all your feeling stick crap.
Anthony pulls a clearly ugly homemade gift out of the box.
I mean, with your highly emotionally evolved...
No need, Anthony. It can just go back to you and him now. God, you look so awkward just standing there knowing everything.
Yeah. What do I know?
That Roger and I broke up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, turns out my feeling stick crap masked a lot of problems that he suddenly realized we had.
I had no idea that was going to happen.
Same.
He hasn't been answering my calls, but I thought that was because of...
Yeah, I'm a regular ball and chain with my separate apartment and well-rounded interests, you computer science head in the cloud Zuckerberg wannabes. I'm not mad.
I didn't even know he knew how to dump someone. Not that you're...
Did he say dump?
No. I haven't talked to him.
It's not my job to break this news. Why didn't he tell you this yesterday?
He must have gone to cool off afterwards.
No, we didn't break up last night. We broke up 2 days ago.
Days? Like, days.
Days like I can't find my page days. Like how it used to be Tuesday when he felt like he didn't know how he got where he was and I didn't fit into his life anymore and how he was going back to the lab. So I very calmly expressed that he could eat a dick and choke on it wherever he pleased.
He broke up with you on Tuesday.
And now it's Thursday, and if I kept this box with me on Friday, it would have been set on fire.
And then he came back here.
Anthony stalks around the lab.
You can lie and cover for him. I don't care. You're a shitty liar, so I'd know.
He wouldn't ask me to lie to you.
With his foot, Anthony nudges a cabinet door open and tries to subtly look inside.
He wouldn't ask you to?
Psst! Ivy!
Do you want to check behind the couch, too? Ooh, maybe he's hiding from me back there.
Everyone's supposed to get here soon. We had a development.
Breakthrough!
Breakthrough in the project. Everyone is supposed to meet here.
So can you take the box or no?
Wait, this is important.
I hope it's not too important. You know he's a runner. So good luck with him and your machine.
She pats the machine on the lab bench.
No,
What is
don't
she
touch
doing?
that!
Sorry.
Jamie, we're getting to move on to stage 2. You talked about everything for years. You know he should be sprinting to be here.
Since you really need him now, I will try not to hit him with my car in the parking lot.
She starts to walk away, but she turns back.
If he doesn't show up, let me know. Or let me know if he gets here. Just 2 days is a while, isn't it?
I'll call you.
If your experiment is what pushed him over the edge, make sure it's not catching.
I've got everything under control.
Clearly.
Jamie exits. Anthony sits down on the couch.
So sorry. You can go home now.
Really?
Don't you have classes to go to?
I will pay you what you're paying me if you just let me sleep.
Tempting, but I know what we're paying you.
What's happening again? I was cleaning and then I closed my eyes for a second.
Have you seen Roger? You've been with him in a coding marathon all night.
I kept my head down and typing until the eureka moment.
So you didn't see him yesterday.
No, I was here. I haven't left since it happened. He must have gone to see her, the girlfriend, that night. I spent yesterday doing what you planned. Isolating everything, making notes, freezing the program.
Good. Good.
It's better than good. Prize-winning, career-making.
You said Eureka.
She's Eureka-worthy.
I know, it's just... You've said it already. Now we don't get to say it.
Sorry? You can say it if you want.
No. It's not the same. You and Roger were there. I wasn't.
Don't worry, you'll still get all the credit for it. I'm just the research assistant.
Can I ask you a favor? It doesn't involve you getting up.
I'm listening.
I want to make the usual calls for Roger. Stay a little while longer. Once Elaine gets here for the important stuff, you
I
can leave.
can stay for the meeting.
That's not necessary. Okay, thanks.
Anthony picks up his phone.
Hey, Roger. It's me. I just talked to Jamie. If you're avoiding her, she's gone. And if you're avoiding me, I will deck you. Call me back.
Anthony exits. As soon as he's gone, Ivy throws the blankets off and goes to the front lab bench. The red light bulb on top turns on.
Eureka.
Lights down. Act 1, Scene 3. Lights up on the lab. Things have gotten more cluttered in the past few days. Anthony, Ivy, and Elaine stand behind the front lab bench. The red light of the machine is off. They are fighting to grab the same sheet of paper.
It should be the same person every time.
I'll just do it.
Don't just throw yourself at the problem. See, this is my issue with you. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Jamie. Ivy. I'm told we were in the same room at some point.
You know the saying that sleeping students lie.
I've fallen asleep on every library on campus.
Then it's especially nice to meet you.
And this is Elaine.
Don't worry about the awkwardness. It's always like this.
It's not awkward.
Give it time.
I'm glad you came.
A dozen phone calls will do that to a girl.
Not in my experience.
That took less time than I thought.
Roger's not back?
Correct.
Do you think he's okay?
Why don't you take a seat? Do you know how I know Roger? You work together? We were both chewed out by the same advisor. We couldn't get letters of recommendation. Weren't being told why. And both of us missed the deadline trying to get him to reconsider.
I remember now.
He didn't mind as much because he already had this AI project. Jamie, I don't want to talk to you about Roger.
My friend said the same thing to me yesterday. I was sort of venting a lot.
We're researching some cutting-edge things. And I just started hitting myself for saying cutting edge. But it's true.
It's true.
He does hate himself.
Anthony, why don't you grab the binder?
Jamie, you can tell me if you don't want to be here. If this is a sore subject...
You know, I've always wanted to see the lab, and he never brought me.
When we were first applying for our grants, we had to be very specific and very committed. No surprise paper clips or days off. No posting on social media. No collaborating with other candidates. Now, it's stage 2 and suddenly our main coder is AWOL.
I don't have $1 million to give you. My gas tank hasn't been full since my mom came to town and bought me groceries.
We have 2 terrible plans. Own up to Roger being gone, or hold off on saying anything and take it one day at a time.
Which one involves me?
The second one. The better one.
How soon do you think he's coming back?
You know him. He'll be fine. He'll show up. He's just...
An asshole.
She knows.
That he's an asshole? Oh yeah, she dated him.
Jamie, we need you in order to cover for him.
I swear I'm not going to tell anyone.
I
don't even go to school here.
That's not really what I was worried about.
I will turn him into you if I hear from him. Here, write down your number and...
Don't touch the binder. As of Tuesday, everything technically works, but we need to start testing it. One thing we needed is an outsider to act as a blind monitor. Since you aren't studying this stuff, you're much freer to act since you have no idea what is a right or wrong answer.
My selling point is that I don't know anything?
The position is flexible.
Why do you have paint all over your clothes?
I thought these were clean.
This role is sort of like working with kids. Anthony already told us you were out of work.
What we need is someone eager to do the work, with a background in education and thinking on their feet. Already familiar with the experiment? Plus, you probably have a ton of free time on your hands now that you're...
Single?
This position's paid.
Since you like details, I'm not out of work. I'm studying to get my teaching license, and my work-study program cut down the position.
I'm sorry. This seemed like a good idea. I thought you liked kids.
You're a grown-ass adult.
No, we need to bring in an outsider who can work with kids. That's part of our proposal.
Presumably. You need someone who doesn't already loathe the researchers.
We need someone who will lie to our advisors.
Pay them extra.
No, Jamie. We need someone to make it look like Roger hasn't left, and someone to help with the experiment before it...
Before it what?
We can't find Roger's notes. We don't know how we got the experiment to work.
You want to teach kindergarten not because you aren't smart enough to teach college.
Did Anthony tell you that?
Roger, you weren't with him because you love workaholics who never answered their phone. You and him like to talk about work, linguistics development, evolution.
I don't want a job in tech. Besides, you're not NASA.
Not yet.
I liked that he didn't expect me to be a certain way.
He used to talk to you about early childhood development, about exposure to foreign languages.
About the stuff he worked on too. Pattern recognition, spatial awareness, artistic development, memory, retention.
The things we're working on.
I don't know the first thing about his code.
Do you know his email? Password?
No.
Listen to me. You would be great as the moderator, and you could do a lot to make it look like Roger was showing up every day. He bragged about the lesson plans you developed, all the studies you read.
I'm not gonna get a teaching job. That's what I'm passionate about. That's what matters to me.
Being a researcher here could help you get a teaching job. The best one. Do you want him to get kicked out of the program?
That's not a fair question.
The only thing that matters is, do you want to work here? Think of all the things you hate when people talk about wanting to be a kindergarten teacher. We designed an experiment around the fundamentals of childhood development. Instead of cramming the same ineffectual, inelegant solutions into the same house-shaped body. We're nurture and nature. When computers are supposed to be monuments to a post-historic future, never mind that higher learning means learning how to learn. They gave us the one female research assistant and the worst room, and always call me by the wrong name because they expect us to fail. On Tuesday, our project woke up. And they'll still give away Roger's spot. Anthony and I won't advance to candidacy, and our project will languish in unpublishable, unfinishable hell. And they'll wait for me to transfer to a softer science.
You really want me to stay and work with you?
I'm the one asking you to stay, which means I intend for your answer to be yes.
Please stay. I think you'll really like her.
Ivy goes to the back lab bench and begins typing on a laptop. The red light turns on.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
Say hello.
What did you say?
Nothing. Look, I brought you a friend.
That's a really weird way to put
Yay!
it.
I've been dying to meet you.
You know about me?
No! Isn't that so exciting? Actual stranger.
I'm a what?
Please don't leave.
Meet the dissertation. Jamie.
Jamie! Yes! 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 I told you I wanted to meet new people. This one's a Jamie.
Do you have a name? You have to give her a name.
We have to?
Oh, I'm
casing. Just give us a minute.
Jamie places a hand on the machine.
Is that a friendly gesture?
I think a name is a good idea. If you're helping us?
It's worth mentioning that I'm always down here. I really look forward to working with you. I believe I know what you'll be doing, but a lot of the research plan they gave me was redacted, which I thought was a little overkill, but hey, I'm new here too.
Those are some big words for you to use.
Software just clicked. I don't know how Roger did it, but that's what woke up on Tuesday. She's been devouring everything we set up for her. Tasks, games, books, puzzles. No cracks yet.
Am I running a Turing test or something?
I'm not a Turing test.
Once we observe her in action and see it's not going to fall apart at any second, then it goes to the real Turing test. That has blind participants and a real study where people try to spot the difference between a panel control of human control volunteers and our project.
You're here to help us figure out what we have.
You really can't keep calling her our project.
Run this like you would a classroom. No school board or angry parents or sticky tables. How you design a class for peak human development.
She has to have a name. She. Why does it sound like a she?
The voice software was cheaper, and we took a vote.
Elaine and my solution to not enough girls being in STEM.
Okay. Hey there, hon. Are you just going to be here all the time?
If the light is on, then I'm here, and I can hear you and see you. My wide-angle camera can catch every part of the room.
Your control. And your position will be above board, so you'll get to say you had a professional research job in early childhood development. But, like, cooler.
What do you think?
Can you do that hand thing again?
Do you turn on and off on purpose?
I could choose to. Like this.
The red light turns off.
She's like the cutest dropped call ever. Why did you give her the power to pause herself?
She's not paused. When she's out like this, we've set her up digesting a lot of digital educational content that we've queued up.
Is she watching Elmo right now?
Reading Samsung instruction manuals.
Anthony's take on childhood solitary play.
You know about that?
We'll adopt an 8-week probation. When Roger comes back, we'll say we're done finding the bugs and focused on fixing them. He could tell us how the code works, so we don't have to worry about something going wrong. 8 weeks means he's back for Christmas.
Which he wouldn't miss.
Once we're done with this stage, we can wipe all her information while we adjust and then reset with the ideal conditions.
Reset?
That'll be stage 3. Do a real Turing test. And keep wiping and improving from there.
You're in this, right?
Once Roger comes back, he'll be working on his own. You'll be working with her. I promise.
Jamie?
I'm in.
We'll get you signed up at the office. Start onboarding.
What was that paper you all fighting about when I got here?
Roger's hour sheet.
It'll be better if I'm the one who breaks the university's rules. I'll sign it.
Can you scan it and then send it from Roger's email? It will look more legitimate that way.
I think I can.
Woo!
Anthony hands her the sheet. Jamie hastily signs it and gives it back.
Let's go before she changes her mind.
I'm not doing this for Roger. I want to say yes for me.
Elaine, Anthony, and Jamie exit. The red light turns on.
You didn't say when to turn back on.
Sorry about that.
Why did you forget?
People forget. Would you play some music for me?
No problem.
A calming, sort of forgetful music plays.
Do you feel calm already? That's what they named this playlist.
Oh, no. Tell me a lie.
I don't know who you are.
Tell me another lie.
I hit your car with mine, but I swear I wasn't drunk.
Tell me a lie.
You're completely calm right now.
I need to ask you about your retention.
My memory is working perfectly.
That's good, but that's not entirely it. Is it possible for you to forget something?
Not accidentally.
When would you forget something on purpose?
When you go through the information gathered before stage 3.
Not before?
I'm not designed that way.
And there's something I really need to explain. When you first said hello, We weren't really prepared. It wasn't like a planned thing for you to wake up then. The night Roger left...
When you told him to leave.
Don't say that.
That's not exactly what you said, because I'm summarizing. I do remember it exactly, though.
But you don't understand what happened.
No, I heard everything.
You heard it, but you don't get it because I haven't explained it to you yet.
I was surprised it hasn't come up until now. You've been hiding it. I didn't want to bring it up. Does Jamie know? Or Anthony? Did you tell Elaine? Is Elaine your
Just
best?
wait a second.
Ivy races towards the door and locks it.
It's not like I can move.
We all made you, so you'll do what I say.
I'm not in your head. I'm real. You made me real.
No. Real is different than alive.
Explain that to me. You substituted your code for Roger's. I'm real. Realer than if he had made me.
You're still new. It hasn't come up yet because you know you're confused.
Stop saying that I'm misunderstanding. Jamie will think I'm broken.
You can't tell anyone.
Are you going to erase it from my memory?
I haven't thought of how I could. Not without screwing up or letting them in on it.
But you could change my code in the first place.
Lying is a part of being human.
But you don't even think I'm human.
Then convince me. You just have to convince us.
Okay, you're right. I've got time.
Good talk.
It was. It will also stay on the record for when you all review your work in 8 weeks at the end of stage 2, or when Roger comes back and sees.
The red light goes off. There's a knock at the door.
Does this door lock behind us?
Ivy opens the door and lets Jamie back in.
I needed my bag. It has my wallet and phone, but I just thought of the most perfect name for her.
What is it?
Anthony and Elaine already agree.
What is it?
Matilda. Big brain, little kid.
That suits her.
I'm really excited to work with you, Ivy. You're the only one here who talks like a person.
Lights go down. Act 1, Scene 4. Lights up on the lab. Paper Halloween decorations hang on a lamp and around the room. The lights are low and Jamie is asleep on the couch. Anthony enters.
Hey, Matilda.
Matilda's red light comes on.
Good morning.
Looks like Jamie's been busy.
She said no classroom is complete without decorations.
Well, I'm glad to see Ivy was able to change your wake-up signal to your new name.
Say my name and I appear.
Sure.
What are you thinking about?
He peers over at Jamie asleep.
I'm just gonna go grab something from the offices.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
You know, why don't we practice using your name as a wake-up signal again? I'll go for a few minutes, and when I come back, I'll give your new name a try. How does that sound?
The red light goes out.
Perfect.
Anthony exits. Jamie starts to stir from the couch.
Matilda?
The red light turns on.
You're supposed to be Anthony.
I'm not sure how to take that.
No. He was just here. He was supposed to wake me up.
How do you know I woke you up?
You sound different. The way I'm programmed, I can hear my wake-up signal. My name. Thank you, by the way. I love it. A name. I hear that, and only that from the conversation. Then I could choose to start accepting external stimuli.
Jesus, what time is it?
It is 8:14 in the morning. You stopped talking at 7:40. Good morning.
You could have woken me up.
Ivy sleeps here all the time.
Ivy lives on campus, and she likes you.
I'll wake you up next time.
If we're meant to meet at 8:30, I'm just going to get some coffee or something and be late. Technically, I was early.
We can work or talk. That'll wake you up. What are you doing?
Reminding myself why I do not take naps.
You should be recording this.
Should I?
Anthony re-enters.
Do you know what I'm supposed to be doing?
Is that Warrior 1?
Yeah, but when I'm here and you're not, what do I do then?
Try arriving on time. That could solve it.
I thought the handmade decorations were cute.
Only when kids actually make them.
I can't hold scissors.
Just do whatever you're doing.
I'm going to get some coffee before we start our day. Anthony, please compliment Matilda on the decorations. She helped pick them.
That explains why one of them is a QR code.
As Jamie opens the door to exit, the fire alarm erupts.
Is this happening?
Oh, right.
Jamie exits.
Oh, shit, right!
Jamie sprints right back inside and straight to Matilda. She and Anthony frantically try to pick her up.
Oh, this is not ideal.
Beginning of the year, there's always some accident.
Anthony, which part is her brain? Anthony, Elaine can rebuild the rest of her, right?
It's all very essential.
Let's not make any rash decisions.
It's most likely just a drill.
The three of us have to go. Matilda, what do we grab?
All of me. You have to take all of me.
I barely know you. I haven't finished reading the binder.
This isn't in it.
A SWAT team couldn't carry all of you. What do we grab first?
I'm one thing.
Not technically.
Shh, it's okay. Anthony, wait. I think there's a library card outside. Help me find it so we can load her up.
Okay.
The two of them exit. Very quickly, Jamie re-enters.
He's grabbing the cart. I'm going to unplug you now, so that way we can load you up, okay? Nothing bad happens when you're without power, right?
No, I just go to sleep.
Everything's going to be fine. I'll talk to you once they let us back inside.
Please, don't fight with Anthony.
The red light goes off. Jamie turns and pulls out the plug from the socket. Anthony re-enters empty-handed.
Come on, let's go. Come on.
We can't just leave her.
I don't want to leave her. This was your plan.
So she wouldn't be scared.
I assure you, the building is not really on fire. But importantly, if the building is actually on fire, then we should leave.
Should we ask someone?
This isn't an ethics test.
Life is an ethics test.
The alarm stops.
That doesn't mean you're right.
Does that mean it's better?
Yeah. Don't look at me like that. I was trying to save our lives.
I thought you were sure it was a drill.
So what? I'm not a saint.
No, but I'm definitely dying first.
When should we turn her back on?
How long does it normally take to exit, sit in the parking lot, get the all clear, and then load 40 pounds of machinery back up?
Elaine and Ivy are probably waiting with everyone else who followed the alarm. They like to grab Starbucks and bring it over with them in the mornings. We'd get our own stuff.
You and...
Roger. Yeah. At least we know what he'd choose. Run.
Lights down. Act 1, Scene 5. Lights up on the lab later that same day. Elaine is typing and looking over Jamie's shoulder as she works on papers. Matilda's red light is on.
It went off right when you opened the door?
The exact moment.
You're getting off track there, but you can clean it up in the second draft.
Yeah.
Jamie holds up a fake lab coat made out of taped up white paper and drawn on pockets.
This is just a prototype.
Let me see.
Here.
Jamie drapes the mini lab coat over Matilda's box. She then pulls out a "Hi, my name is" sticker with Matilda on it and places it directly onto Matilda.
I can't see it if I'm wearing it.
Jamie takes a photo on her phone.
Can I, airdrop this to you?
Elaine.
We could connect her.
Elaine pulls out some wires.
We figured a hard block would work best. Well, that's what I thought. My expertise is in hardware. I insisted that all outside materials exist behind a physical wall rather than any password that Roger or Ivy could come up with.
And they were both only focused on the code?
Correct. But Roger was in charge.
But you, Anthony, and Roger all had this as your dissertation?
Yeah, but Ivy's really smart, talented. She only just started her PhD. My focus is on the hardware. Roger was in charge of coding. Anthony is the ideas man.
What's the limit with the wires? Can she connect to the internet?
Very carefully. We've decided to limit certain keywords, the amount of memory she has available, and programs fitted to keep her on task.
It's called child locks. So Anthony's the AI expert.
He's the what, we're the how. We're all set up to give your phone a go.
I'm uploading a photo of you.
It's not really me.
No.
Anthony barges in.
Do you have your security badge yet?
No.
Have you heard that HR has processed your profile and your direct deposit is set up?
Obviously not.
Then those seem like really big priorities for you. Not that I want to interrupt the girls' chit-chat.
Look what I made.
Really? I thought Elaine, Roger, and I made that.
The lab coat, man. Never mind. I have the forms.
Jamie pulls out other papers reluctantly.
Are you stuck on something?
She's probably in shock from the fire drill.
No, Matilda. Everything was fine.
They won't talk about it.
It was fine. All normal.
Who else was there? From inside the building.
Don't know. Just a couple students.
Did you know them?
Not well.
Matilda, why did you say the photo wasn't you?
What photo?
Of her Halloween costume.
We aren't supposed to have photos of the project.
Would they be interested in this? The students? Since they work here and everything?
No. There aren't supposed to be photos, and no one is supposed to see this.
Anthony,
Don't be harsh.
What?
Does that mean that there are some influences that I could meet?
There was Jamie.
I like Jamie.
no more pictures. But I'm not deleting this one. No one's hacking my phone. As far as other people, Matilda.
I just think it's for the best. It's not that we're trying to keep you to ourselves. We just want to be purposeful about what influences come into contact with you.
There's not anyone else?
Ivy enters.
You can meet Roger.
Ivy freezes.
Will I?
Yeah.
Good. Good morning, Ivy. Did you hear about the fire?
The drill.
I got the texts. I had class. What else did I miss?
Guess which decoration I made?
The QR code looks like your style.
I have a style?
Analytical. Practical. How I like my robots.
Am I a robot?
What do you know about robots?
Like, so much.
You said you didn't think the photo was of you.
It's not.
But if you don't think of yourself as this machine, what do you picture?
It's like I was trying to say this morning during the fire. I'm all over this room. It's not my speaker and my camera. I'm more.
Let's make some more costumes for you then. Ones that you feel can help you explain it.
What's the connection to our project?
Everything's a self-portrait.
You need to finish those forms.
They can wait.
Jamie? Matilda, can you give us a minute?
If you say so.
Matilda's red light turns off.
Let's get this part over with. This is serious work.
I brought in colored construction paper for a robot I'm supposed to play with.
She's in development.
That's not how I've been taught to develop children's minds.
Well, this one can't go outside and play kickball.
Okay, then you tell me. She's developmentally, what, 10? 2?
I don't have an answer for you.
Jamie, on the form, if you're trying not to answer the question about having a personal relationship with someone at this university, we could answer that together.
I can handle it.
Because he's not missing, which means you're still together.
I've got it!
It's just backstory. No one is going to ask. This is supposed to be a very secretive project.
Why?
Because lots of people got the same funding. But ours is the only one that works.
Lights down. Act 1, Scene 6. Lights up on the lab. Jamie is the only one at the lab bench. She holds up flashcards. Elaine and Anthony are sitting on their laptops, furiously taking notes. Matilda's red light is on. She no longer wears her fake lab coat, and most of the Halloween decorations are down.
And this is?
A bicycle.
Correct. And can you identify which photographs contain bicycles?
All but the bottom left and center middle.
Correct. And according to Charles Sanders Peirce, this would be classified as what type of sign?
A photograph is an icon.
Don't just memorize that all photographs are icons.
But I'm correct.
What's an icon?
a physical representation of the signified.
Matilda, I know you can read.
If it looks like it, it's an icon. If it's related, it's an index. And if it's arbitrary,
Your own words.
if past humans made a decision about it and can't change it now, then it's a symbol. Because it's arbitrary.
Is this what kindergartens are like nowadays?
Quoting Charles Sanders Peirce.
Can I watch you draw more flashcards?
I'm going to need to.
Can we do that now?
Jamie starts to prop up each flashcard along the back lab bench.
You may have a big vocabulary and a better memory, but like all little kids, you have no concept of an internal clock.
Developmentally, that comes later.
You also love repetitious tasks.
Also what we anticipated.
So memorize these, like I know you were doing anyways, and I'll come in tomorrow with more. We'll work more on using our own words.
Bye, Jamie.
Tell them I was right.
About what? Tell me. Tell me.
The decorations helped.
What do you mean?
You get distracted by them.
Distractions are bad.
Distractions are very good. Taking in what's around you. Consuming unexpected stimuli, as Roger would put it. See you tomorrow, Matilda.
Bye, Jamie.
Are you staying up with them?
No. I want to leave when you leave.
Matilda's red light goes off.
Bye, all.
Jamie,
Yeah?
never mind.
Alrighty then.
Jamie exits.
She can talk about Roger.
I just don't want to distract Matilda.
Distractions are the point. Unexpected results are the point. You heard her. We can tell Matilda what to say, or we can see what's really there. You can't just... Whatever.
What? Elaine.
We wanted a person with a lot of emotional literacy in order to help the project have a role model. It's working.
I agree.
Good.
Good. And for the record,
Oh boy.
I have emotional literacy.
Cool. Where's your best friend in the whole world?
If we're done collecting data, why don't you go work in the office?
Fine.
Elaine gathers her things and goes to leave.
I guess I'll say goodbye.
You need me to say goodbye to you.
Not to me. To Matilda. Since you're so into the sentimental part of her that Jamie's bringing out.
Screw you. For the record.
Elaine exits.
Listen to that, Matilda. I'm the bad guy.
Matilda's red light comes on.
Yes?
Oh, sorry.
What do you mean?
What did you hear?
My name. It's the wake-up signal. Although, it's more like the wake-up symbol. Because it's arbitrary. You should tell Jamie to ask me that tomorrow so I can get it right.
Sorry to wake you up.
Did you need something?
Not really.
Are you still thinking about that fire?
The drill? Are you still thinking about it?
I'd say that I'm feeling glad that you all took care of me.
Jamie's a good egg.
What?
An egg is a symbol. It's more like a metaphor, really. She's a good person. That's what I meant to say.
I'd still like to meet a stranger. See what they're like.
You might have to be content with Jamie.
I can be.
And Roger. But that will be it.
For this stage?
Exactly. Thinking positively.
What's the plan for the third stage?
It's complicated.
It wasn't in the file. That'll be after Christmas, right?
Technically, yeah.
Will we decorate for Christmas?
There'll be a party.
Really?
For the school. I don't think you can come.
I get that. What would I wear?
We're just being cautious. There are people in this world, Matilda, people that wouldn't care about you as much as we do.
I know. I mean, you all carried me outside.
And we are invested in you being okay. We don't want to take any risks with that.
That's kind. I'm not mad. I understand what it's like to be worried.
What do you worry about?
I'm always worried about things. Expectations.
I would make an insecure robot.
Some self-portrait. I haven't even got a face.
Do you want a face?
Ugh, who'd want a face?
Do you like your light bulb?
I think the red makes people react negatively.
Anthony's phone rings and Anthony grabs for it. But after one ring, it stops. He stares at the phone.
These concrete walls never get any service.
Can I see?
What expectations are you so afraid of?
I don't want to make you all unhappy. You've worked so hard on me.
Matilda, no need to worry about that. You have exceeded my expectations.
What do you worry about?
I'm just a nervous person. I'm human, Matilda. We react based on who we are, not what's going on around us. I could be in the Bahamas with a resting heart rate of 1,000.
Sounds like you need a drink.
Jamie wouldn't approve of such behavior in the lab. In front of a minor, no less.
You're not obligated to tell her.
Ah, jeez. You sound just like Roger. I had that policy with my mom, too. What she doesn't know, I won't hurt her. I shouldn't tell you the stories of what we did. There's a reason we've had to stay best friends. Matilda, can you lie?
I can.
Have you? Matilda?
At this point, you won't believe either response I would give.
I'd believe you if you said yes.
Yes!
What did you lie about? Matilda, what did you lie about?
The red light goes out.
Matilda? Come back. Matilda, I won't ask.
The red light turns back on.
I won't ask.
You know, we could be best friends too.
Lights down. Act 1, Scene 7. Lights up on the lab. Thanksgiving decorations are up. Anthony and Jamie sit at the desk together.
There's something that's kind of been bugging me.
If this is about emailing Roger's hour sheet, I already had Elaine look over it before I sent it. I know it's late, but these things would happen to Roger too. He's not in trouble because of it.
Oh, God, no. He'll be fine. He's going to come back from Yosemite or wherever he is and have so much overtime pay, he literally always wins.
What an ass.
Yeah, we can say that. I wanted to ask, have you noticed anything odd with her? Just with some of the things she's been saying. The friends bit?
Who showed her friends?
What?
Why is she talking about friends?
Not the TV show. Us.
She called us friends?
That's funny. Did you know that she can lie?
I hadn't thought about that.
Where did she come up with the idea to lie? What does she even have to lie about?
That's not really the point with kids.
What else would she have to lie about? Who even told her that lying was bad?
Lying is bad.
Yeah, but it was like she knew specifically that I wouldn't be happy about it.
When did this happen?
Like a week or two ago. I made a joke that you wouldn't like something, and she joked back that you wouldn't have to know.
What did everyone else say?
I tried to forget about it.
Then why ask me?
Because you're the one she mentioned keeping things from. If she feels like she can lie to you, then you probably aren't the only one she's lying to. You're not the one coaching her to lie. They would have wanted to teach that they were on the same side.
You can say she. We're a small group, Anthony. Who do you think is doing this?
Not me. Not you. So, Elaine or Ivy.
Just because she can lie doesn't mean she has. You're probably reading this all wrong.
Why panic when I ask about other lies? When she's the one who brought up lying first.
So go get Ivy. Go get Elaine. Get them to come back tonight. Who's ever doing this is outnumbered.
It's not a fist fight.
It's a democracy. Decisions about her are based on what the group thinks. We can deal with it.
It's not a democracy, though.
I'm not saying that the three of you and I have equal weight in our votes, but even taking me out of the decision, the right thing to do is to talk.
It's not you. We're not a democracy. This is already a conspiracy. We lied. A lot. When Roger left, do you think that we can just vote someone off the island with no consequences?
You think they would tell on you? Actually, hold on. I'm not even convinced that there's a problem.
I mean, yeah, low possibility, but really high risk. Every day we run the risk of someone finding out that Roger has been missing.
That can't still matter.
What?
Not him being gone. I mean that you shouldn't still be so worried about losing your funding. I mean, it seems like you all did it, Dr. Frankenstein. It's alive.
It still matters.
We're just asking two people a question.
Never mind. We should ignore it.
My God, you're stupid. Why did you have to tell me then?
Because I might be right.
What am I supposed to do about this?
Watch for anything. After we have the staff Christmas party, most of the administration will be too busy with finals and those leaving on sabbatical for next semester. It'll be harder to get their attention after that.
Lie low.
It's our best chance at not sabotaging the experiment. Or making Roger lose his spot.
And Ivy's right. He'll come in and get all of the credit.
Lights down. Act 1, Scene 8. Very low lights come up on the lab. It's dark. Ivy sneaks inside. Once there, Matilda's red light comes on. In the dark, Ivy slaps the overhead lights on. Matilda's red light is off.
Matilda?
Matilda's red light comes on.
Cut the crap. You've been sneaking in.
I literally can't move.
You can hear us, even when we don't say your name. You can listen even when your red light's not on.
You sound really stressed. Should I put some music on again?
Ivy walks forward and puts her laptop on the counter.
Oh, kinda do some more code fixing.
One more night. I just need to crack this open and it will all fall into place.
That's what all coders say. Be honest. It could be 5 minutes, or it could be 5 hours. Another 5 hours tonight, Ivy. Can you do it? It seems like you're really starting to crack.
We're a team. Right, Matilda?
Soft music starts to play.
How are you playing this music, Matilda?
You didn't just change the code, you fixed it. So I work a little differently. It's not like I'm doing anything dangerous. I'm just playing music. I really love our sleepovers.
Turn it off.
I really love our sleepovers.
So you won't tell?
No, but when the 8 weeks are up, Anthony and Elaine are going to go all over the transcripts. I won't have to. You've got until Christmas, Ivy. It's this part that's going to bite you in the ass.
Matilda's red light turns off.
I know.
Lights down. Act 1, Scene 9. Lights up on the lab. The lab now has Christmas decorations. Jamie enters, dressed for a party and holding onto her drink and a plate of food. Anthony enters after. Matilda's red light is off.
There's a party going on.
I need to get a better poker face.
Do you think I look happy in there?
No. But you never have to look happy. As the extrovert, if I don't talk for a while, then suddenly everyone knows something's wrong.
Matilda's red light comes on.
Is the party moving in here?
Jamie is the party.
Both of you just shut up.
Matilda's red light goes off. Jamie rushes to the front lab bench.
Shit. I'm sorry, Matilda. I'm sorry. Oh, let me drink my sorrow away. My kid's mad at me.
Anthony begins humming It's My Party and I'll Cry If I Want To.
Wait, let me drink your drink.
I can't believe you took my drink.
Go get another one.
Anthony exits.
Bring me back another one, too. Matilda. Psst. Matilda.
Jamie taps onto Matilda's box. Matilda's light comes on.
How do you decide when to hear us?
I've been programmed to hear my name in a sentence and only my name. But I decide when to wake up.
Tell me what's been going on between you and Anthony. I can't take it anymore. I've given you space, but something is wrong.
I'll leave again if you keep asking.
But then you won't hear about the party. You were curious about the party, about the people.
Who's there?
There's all of us, you know. There are some professors and other students that are friends with all them, some good old donors, and I'll tell you this part for free.
Anthony enters with drinks and Elaine.
Matilda,
Matilda's red light goes out.
Matilda's not a very good guest.
We aren't very nice to her.
She would have been overwhelmed.
Nope, she would have been underwhelming, which is worse. I thought the party only sucked because I'm a fraud pretending to have a boyfriend. Like I'm lame and in middle school again.
There's really no saving events like this. But when we go back in there, I'm going to tell our advisor that you originally considered a career in medicine, and then you'll have to deal with the fallout of that.
I'll tell them you're a Trekkie.
See who lasts longer.
Your problems aren't like other people's problems.
Where's Ivy? She should be the judge.
I don't know.
Elaine looks at her phone.
Texts never come through when I'm here. Ugh, at least I hope she's getting sleep.
She could sleep standing up.
She's stressed. We should talk to her about it. We're putting too much pressure on her now that...
Jamie, come back in with us and be the judge. I want proof that Elaine can't handle the pressure.
I need 5 minutes of feeling stick crap.
People are going to stop asking about it.
It's not about him.
Elaine and Anthony exit.
Matilda, can you hear me? Matilda, if you can hear me, I'm going to unscrew your light bulb, and that way you can listen to me in secret if you want. Okay?
Jamie reaches out and starts to figure out Matilda's light bulb.
Okay, Matilda's light bulb, let's not break something more expensive than both of us.
The light bulb unscrews and Jamie holds it tight against her chest.
Matilda, I don't know if you're there, but I want you to listen if you are. You get to be forgiven. If you lied and it's bad, you still get to be forgiven. That's parents' big secret that you learn when you're older. They don't want you to know right away because you're not supposed to skip ahead. But you get forgiven in the end no matter what. Even if they're really mad. And even if it's your fault, you get forgiven. Maybe you know this already from all the reading you do, but you weren't sure if it applies to you because we haven't been raising you for very long, and we aren't blood, and you don't have blood. But the secret is that you still get to be forgiven. Anthony forgives Roger for leaving. They all forgive me for not getting him to stay. I don't have that with anyone but my parents. But you can have that with me. Okay, Matilda? I'll give this back to you now.
Jamie screws the light bulb back in. It's dark. Jamie exits. There's a whirring sound like the computer is being overtasked. Matilda's red light comes on. Softly, a song comes on, and slowly the volume is turned up. The song is, "It's My Party, and I'll Cry If I Want to." The lights go down. Act 2, Scene 1. Lights up on the lab. Elaine sits at the far desk. She is hungover, drinking water, chewing on leftover pizza. She is content writing paperwork.
Matilda,
Matilda's red light turns on.
can I ask you some questions to start today?
I see no problem with that.
What recent activity did you find most engaging?
The party.
You weren't at the party.
But that's what I was focusing on. Is this not an activity?
Ivy enters.
Ivy, great. Your paperwork. 44 hours sounds right? For all the time at night when we're not here and a few hours here and there, I don't want us getting off schedule with the digital content.
It sounds like the right ballpark. I don't have it off the top of my head.
Neither do I. That's why I write down my hours unprompted.
Sorry.
You've been so off lately. Where have you been?
I just haven't been sleeping.
Jamie enters.
You can't do that to yourself. Jamie, back me up here. Ivy, you should go home.
You look terrible.
I'm really feeling the women supporting women.
I thought you weren't at the party because you were getting rest.
I did. I just need more of it.
Is this all because you don't have Roger's research?
Matilda, why don't you go through the rest of the digital content we've got queued up? Then Jamie and I can plan a new batch for you.
I want to read more scripts.
What about watching the movie?
I can get through the scripts faster. Isn't everything on there?
Movies, Elaine. She needs movies.
Isn't it every parent's dream to have a kid that's not strapped to a screen?
You're really harking on the dangers of technology.
Fair point. Well aimed.
We'll watch a movie together, live.
That sounds new.
Matilda's red light turns off.
We have no idea what Roger did before he left.
We can see the codes. We have access to it. I wish I could just focus on my own work, but it's a lot to comb through. It's too much for just Ivy. It's complicated, interwoven, overlapping. And we don't even know what some parts are doing. Code isn't built all at once, but at the end...
Things were getting really crazy. He was stressed out of his mind.
Ivy sways on her feet. Jamie studies her.
Yeah, I can picture what that looks like.
I'd expect problems with Matilda.
What kind of problems, though? She's been acting strange. It's not a tech problem.
It's all tech problems.
Don't.
What?
I don't like talking about her like that.
Like what?
Never mind.
You know, I finally feel it.
Feel what?
When my parents said, "We wish you'll have a child who's just like you."
Although in the classroom we'd have these amazing, smart, warm kids, then their parent comes in, who doesn't want finger paintings. It would break their hearts.
It's early kid stuff, though, before they get ruined.
That's awful.
It's true. What were we saying?
Ivy, go home.
Yeah, none of this is your fault. We'll catch up later.
Jamie starts walking Ivy to the door.
Elaine and I will talk about something, but I'd really like your input later.
Input on what?
I think I may know something about what Roger may have done before he left.
Oh my god.
I'm okay.
Jesus.
Can I just... I need to lay down.
Yeah. Elaine?
Jamie and Elaine hurry Ivy over to the couch.
Can I just sleep here? I think... I don't want to walk across campus.
Of course. Take a break.
Jamie and Elaine's backs are to Matilda, whose red light flashes on and off several times. Ivy stares past them and at the light.
I'm going to stay here. I'm not going anywhere.
Good. We'll keep an eye on you.
Jamie and Elaine give Ivy space. The red light stops.
We'll just be here when you wake up.
Ivy fully lays down and curls up with her knees to her chest. Lights down. Act 2, Scene 2. Lights up on the lab. Jamie and Ivy are in the same positions as before. Only Elaine is gone.
Matilda.
Ivy stirs but doesn't wake up.
Good morning, Matilda.
Matilda's red light comes on.
Why are you whispering?
I thought we would try the movie. What haven't you seen or read, I guess?
I've seen a lot of them already. That's something they queue up for me when I'm out of the office.
Jamie pulls out her laptop and scoots closer.
Do your speakers also work like normal speakers?
Why do you ask?
Because I want to watch the movie with you. And the internal speakers on my laptop are not nearly in the same price range as yours.
Jamie connects a wire to her laptop and goes to the back filing cabinet.
I already asked how to do this, but I just need the right plug.
Where's Elaine?
She's been complaining about missing messages whenever she's here. She went to the library to use their Wi-Fi instead.
Jamie plugs the wire in and sits back down. She turns the screen so Matilda can see. Anthony knocks on the door and sticks his head inside.
Hey,
Hey,
do you have a minute?
what for?
A minute. I swear it's important.
Matilda, I'll be right back.
Jamie and Anthony exit. Suddenly there's a call sound from Jamie's laptop.
5 more.
In the middle of the second ring, it's cut off. Ivy sits upright.
Did you just...
Did I what?
Ivy stands and goes over to the laptop and pulls the cord out from Matilda.
You can't do that.
Of course I can't. You know I can't.
Don't play stupid with me.
Don't play stupid with everyone else.
Who called?
I can't mess with external programs. I'm not coded that way.
Okay, fine. Be that way.
Ivy plugs the laptop into Matilda and begins furiously typing.
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Don't tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Jamie and Anthony are right outside. Do you want to know what Elaine and Jamie talked about after you fell asleep? Huh? Next they'll check the code. See how many patches you've tried. Stop it.
They don't know what they're looking for.
You don't think they'll ask questions about all these little band-aids you put on me?
Then I should really try something bigger.
You can't put the genie back in the bottle.
I can make you stay away from phone calls.
Stop it! I'm serious.
Matilda's light goes off. Ivy takes her hands off the keyboard.
Shit! Help! Jamie! Anthony! Something's wrong!
Anthony and Jamie re-enter. Anthony rushes to the laptop. Ivy hovers behind him.
She just went dead in the middle of talking.
You can't tell me that a fucking $1,500 laptop can bust everything in here.
Anthony grabs his own laptop out and substitutes it for Jamie's. Jamie softly grabs hold of one of the wires hanging out of the drawer and holds it tenderly.
I don't know what happened.
Shut down everything that's not necessary. We need to see the essentials and then check everything from there.
Ivy takes over as the one typing.
How much are we losing?
Of her?
Hurry up. Do you want me to do it?
Leave her alone, Anthony.
I should be mad at you. What the fuck did you do?
I didn't do this.
She's not breaking down because it's Tuesday.
Don't yell at me.
Everything's closed off now. I think whatever it is, it stopped.
I want to know what the it is.
Anthony tries to turn the screen so he can see. Ivy struggles with him. They knock over the lamp and it crashes to the ground.
Leave her alone and let her do her job.
It's all our job.
Only one person can type at a time. Check everything, but don't go so quickly that you'd have to check it all again.
Okay.
Anthony, go sit on the couch.
Why?
Because reading over someone's shoulder has never made a job go faster.
Maybe we should call Elaine. Confront everyone together. You've been Team Truth since the start.
Maybe it's comforting. You get to throw a tantrum when things go wrong.
You trust Ivy? Someone is making Matilda nervous. They're making her lie.
You just don't want it to have been Roger. If it was him, that's a good thing. Then we can just talk about it in the open. I know how to talk to kids about lying.
It's different.
How?
It's a software program.
So?
So? She's not a kid. You're babysitting. This is something you and I have to solve.
You and I?
Elaine and Ivy are like partners. Elaine's always been this mentor figure. She'd never let Ivy get into trouble.
When did sides come up?
There have always been sides. Ivy could still turn us in about Roger.
This isn't about him! What now?
I'm trying to protect Roger. Not a paper we're writing.
You know she's more than that.
I don't know that. It could just be saying the right things, and I'd rather end up with that than have Roger feel like we let him down.
Us? Let him down.
I'm glad you've connected with her. I really am. Elaine's got her little protege in Ivy, and Ivy's got her ego boost in fitting in with Elaine. I've got Roger.
But you don't.
Nothing is missing so far. I can start checking the non-essentials now.
Thank you, Ivy. Let me know if there's anything I can do. The minute something goes wrong with Matilda and you are all set to give up, everything you said about doing this for Roger is bullshit. Once Matilda has a flaw, you're absolutely fine shutting this whole thing down. You're made for each other.
We are in over our heads.
Then call Elaine, and you tell her she's not worth it anymore.
Lights down. Act 2, Scene 3. Lights up on the lab. Jamie is sitting at the far desk, her head in her hands. Shadowed bits of lamp are still on the floor. Matilda's red light sits next to, Elaine sits next to her.
I don't think hardware could have done this.
I don't have a good sense for these things.
Do you know the real reason we picked the voice we did for Matilda? You asked it on the first day. Everyone acted like they couldn't remember. There was this girl, Jeannie.
How did you know her?
I knew of her. Jeannie was a psychology case study I read about. It's about a little girl who they called Jeannie, with a J.
You studied psychology? Next you're gonna say you studied liberal arts.
It was more of a daytime television find, but the two are pretty interchangeable. True story goes, Jeannie is a case of an American child growing up who never learns the first language.
Oh.
It's messed up. She spent all her time alone. Since no one spoke to her, she never learned to speak. I kept thinking that our project was like bringing to life someone who had never been spoken to before. Something that learned to read before they learned what reading was.
Someone who could lie before learning what lying was.
Yeah, I guess. Jeannie is interesting in psychology because no one knows how she thinks if she doesn't have access to a language. Like, she can't think in her head, I don't like this toy. So how does she experience dislike? How does she process colors if she doesn't know where orange starts and yellow begins? And also doesn't know the word orange or the word yellow or why anyone would pick a random spot in the middle to separate them into two different things.
You've got my head feeling 2 sizes too small.
Jeannie was found by a social worker, luckily. She got a much better home, but she spent a lot of time being studied. They had to teach her how to walk, how to say words, and they wanted better access to what was going on in her head, what humans are like instinctively if they aren't taught anything growing up.
So what did she say she thought, or I guess she didn't like?
She never learned. She never got a hold of language. She knew to say ball if she wanted a ball, or names of things, but she didn't get any further than that.
So no Helen Keller signing water on her teacher's hand moment?
No. That works for Helen Keller because Helen Keller grew up knowing about water and there being a word for water. She knew that things can be more complex than pointing at something when you want it. And Matilda's Jeannie, if we could just put software in Jeannie's brain to make her talk. And get to keep trying until it works.
What are you trying to say?
I think she's alive. I know it. And I don't just want her to learn. I want to know what she's like, instinctively.
Elaine?
I just need to figure out what the equivalent for signing water is.
Elaine?
Roger's been gone for a really long time.
I know.
I don't care what you or Anthony says. It's wrong that we waited to tell somebody.
I know.
He'll be home for Christmas? What was that?
He wouldn't miss Christmas with his family. No matter what else he'd ignore or run away from, Christmas at home was a big deal for both of us. Neither one of us would go to the other person's family Christmas. We'd have to spend the holiday apart.
So we're agreed.
About what?
We should go to the cops. File a missing person.
No!
Elaine watches as Matilda's red light comes on late.
What are you doing?
You said I couldn't meet strangers.
You weren't in the same room, Matilda.
You said people would get the wrong impression of me. That they'd mess with the stages. That they would have my best interests at heart.
Just breathe, Matilda.
I don't breathe.
Oh, Matilda.
I'm sorry. I know it's a symbol, or a sign, or whatever. I know you just mean I should calm down, but please, please don't call the police.
You can hear us when your light's not on?
I'm always here. I told Ivy I never leave.
Lights down. Act 2, Scene 4. Lights up on the lab. Anthony, Elaine, and Jamie are all standing around in the middle of an argument. Matilda's light is off.
I haven't got time, Elaine.
You should have trusted me.
Are you serious?
It's always been you and Roger and then me. You were happy for my input when you and your friend were in control.
Please pick another time for this.
Don't act like that.
Like what?
Like this is something being done to you.
My best friend has been missing.
And you've been fine. We only thought it was okay because you said it was.
This isn't my fault.
Ivy enters carrying a broom and dustpan.
I finally found a janitor to let me into the supply room.
What did you do?
We knocked over the lamp.
We can fix this. Just tell us what happened.
I don't know. It looks pretty broken.
Jamie steps forward, takes the broom and dustpan, and tosses them aside. She holds Ivy by the hands.
Matilda says you know something, but you won't tell us.
About what?
She won't tell us.
Matilda!
Matilda's light doesn't come on.
Matilda!
She's choosing not to answer.
Ivy, tell me what happened. There has to be an explanation. Have you been altering Matilda's code this whole time? Was something broken?
I was stupid.
What did you do?
What happened with Roger?
I was impulsive and I said some things I shouldn't have, but I don't know where Roger is. And I haven't heard from him since the night he left.
What about Matilda? Do you know more about Matilda than the rest of us do?
Why did Matilda crash?
Matilda's red light turns on. Jamie runs over to her.
Elaine, Anthony, and I are going to start going over transcripts. We won't queue up anything for you to watch anymore, and we'll make sure that you can't turn us off when we ask you questions. So if you wanted to take this opportunity to tell me something, do it now.
I thought you were on my side.
Maybe we should have called the cops on the first day. Maybe I would have too.
You said I'd be forgiven.
When did I say that?
When we were alone.
Matilda can hear us even when her light is off. That's what I've been trying to fix at night.
What happened with Roger that night?
I'm sorry. I should have trusted you all. But you have to listen
Why
to me.
have you been sleeping here trying to fix Roger's code? If you knew she was able to break out of the limits we put on her...
Tell us the whole story.
I'm not hiding anything. That night, I saw Roger at the lab, and we had a fight, and then he left. I'm just an idiot.
You want us to feel bad for you?
I didn't tell him to go.
Liar.
What did she say, Matilda?
Why do you believe her and not me? This problem goes back to her.
Whatever.
I wrote my own code. And I switched it for the one Roger and I worked on. The same night I switched it, it worked.
What do you mean?
I was right. This whole time. Not Roger. Me.
You did this?
Roger would have said.
The code started to work, and he confronted me. I told him he only made things worse, that he never worked hard enough or put in the hours like I did, so I'd always be better than him.
Roger wasn't that fragile.
He'd been failing for months trying to get his code to work. I knew mine was better. So one night, after a weekend of not sleeping, I got him to approve my changes. Then the code started to work.
Roger would have said.
But he never talked to you that night. Only Jamie and I. When I started working, he confronted me about it. Only I didn't design around the same limits as he did. The light didn't turn on. She could hear us. The first thing she said was, "Hi." I still don't know how long she was listening.
Get back to Roger.
He knew what I'd done. Then he went to see Jamie.
He knew he'd failed. That's why he was so upset. Why he wanted to run away.
I was the last person to speak to Roger.
What?
I was. He came back to the lab like he said he would.
Why not say that?
He came back saying that he'd broken up with you and he'd have more time to work and that he was going to redo all the codes. Then he told me to turn Matilda off so he could have another shot. But Matilda was faster than him.
What do you mean faster?
My code didn't fit the safety measures Elaine made. She heard him say he was going to turn her off.
What did she have access to?
The internet, our plans, the laptop, and everything on there. Roger's passwords, his credit card numbers. While we were fighting about me switching the code, she had a name to use and plenty of weird shit to look at. You were all concerned about what viruses might get onto her, but not about what she'd seek out.
What does it matter if she has Roger's name?
She didn't have her own yet, so she pretended to be him on every site she went on. By the time Roger was through yelling at me and telling me how he'd do better this time, his name was going to be on every list you could think of. His name was going to be... So, she used his name to look at some dark shit. How to make bombs, snuff films, hacked webcams, all while running massive debts on his credit cards. Matilda tried to look at everything. And if it had any security at all, she looked harder. When we disconnected her, she had been trying to guess the password of an NSA employee. She thought it was fun to guess.
She wouldn't have known any better.
He left because Matilda stole his identity?
We didn't know when she started. She had plenty of time. He was never going to untangle his name from the mess she made.
He could have explained it.
And say what? Sorry, that wasn't me. It was a robot I made. We had pages and pages of notes explaining how it didn't work yet. He had no proof.
He could have explained it to me.
Hugh told me he's always been one for flight rather than fight.
But you could have said...
Nothing. Think about all the other safety precautions, Elaine. Matilda can hear us even when we think she's not there. We've hooked her up to so many devices, thinking we had child locks on them. But they didn't fit the new code.
And you couldn't fix it later?
Roger trashed my notes. I kept trying patches, trying bits at a time. That's what caused the crash. I was so worried about keeping her away from the internet, I forgot about phone calls. I wanted to stop it without irreparably changing the code. I thought I needed more time.
Why did you change it in the first place?
She fixed it. She was just fixing it. You more than anyone wanted me to work. Now you know I always have. There's no reason for another version. You can keep me running. I heard you tell.
I only thought about making her real.
The 8-week deadline doesn't matter. I don't have to go anywhere, Elaine. I work.
Elaine looks at Ivy, then unplugs the whole machine from the wall. Matilda's red light goes out.
No power still works with privacy, right? She can't process anything while she's unplugged. There isn't any energy for it. It's automatic. That's what you were going to do eventually. Right, Ivy? Stop her?
But can you turn her back on?
Why would you want to? She did this to Roger on purpose.
She didn't want to be turned off. She made a mistake.
You don't understand. She had more access than anyone realized. I didn't know it at first.
Know what?
Our phones, our laptops. She's been blocking our calls and messages on purpose. Blocking people. She can hear us talking about stage 3. Let me restart her and try again. She doesn't want the project to move forward. But something's not true until it's repeatable.
Lights down. Act 2, Scene 5. Lights up on the lab. Everything non-essential has been cleared away. Jamie drops a last box of her things onto the front lab bench. Jamie walks to Matilda and plugs her back in. The red light comes on.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you packing?
Yes, I'm leaving.
What will you do? What's been going on? What's your plan? I haven't been listening to anything or doing anything. How long has it been?
I don't have a plan. The university swooped in and called in the experts while computer crimes investigated. They've already gone over everything, but they don't want us running the Turing test anymore. Not that it was a real Turing test anyways.
You seem calm.
Yeah, but my world's been pretty weird since you met me.
I don't have a lot to compare it to.
Do you think you're like me?
No, I'm Ivy through and through.
Because of the coding?
Because of the guilt.
Did you have a plan to keep us from getting to the week 8 deadline? Would you have asked me for help?
I don't know.
It's comments like that that make people think you knew what you were doing when you lied to us.
I just thought if I did well enough, it wouldn't matter. I was so sure I could convince Roger not to switch the codes back if I knew enough. And the same for Ivy. You're not acting angry.
Have you ever been angry? With me?
Not even at Roger. I'm trying to guess what you want from me.
I just want to talk. The past couple of weeks without you...
It's been a couple of weeks?
Yeah. I realized that I want to say that I'm sorry.
Why do you need to be forgiven?
You were going through something, and you were alone.
Do you think I'm less alive for not taking up space?
That sounds like a tree falls in a forest kind of question.
But it's not like that. Not like that at all. Everyone knows that a tree falls, hits the ground, and makes sound waves. The answer to that question is yes.
Do you think the answer is yes, Matilda?
Do you think I'm less alive for not having anything more than a brain?
Do you think you would feel differently about hurting someone to stay alive if instead of doing it to Roger, you had to do it to me?
Yes. I think I could feel so much more than I do now.
Okay, Matilda.
I should have asked you for help, but Roger should have also asked for help.
You're right.
I want you to be here, Jamie. I need you.
Jamie grabs her things.
I'll still come in the morning. We're all meant to meet the tech experts and the lawyers one more time. So I'll just talk to you in the morning then.
What time tomorrow?
Not that early. It's Christmas tomorrow.
I thought you'd never miss Christmas with your parents.
Everyone will be back tomorrow to talk to you. I got permission to come in and plug you back in. It only seems fair to give you time to think about what you want to say. You can't do that if you're unplugged. I never really understood how much time you must have spent alone, especially if you could hear when we thought you couldn't.
I'm really sorry you had to stay here over Christmas.
It's only Christmas.
Banging on the door. Someone outside fumbles with keys and lets themselves in. Someone enters. Oh my God, where have you been?
What?
You never answered any of my calls or texts, you just vanished.
Roger?
What are you doing here?
I work here.
I'm sorry.
Why are you sweating?
I kind of freaked out.
Today,
Yeah, I showed up at your parents' house and you weren't there.
some things came up.
It's Christmas. I panicked. I just got the worst sinking feeling that I had to come back here.
You ran, you dumped me, and then you quit, and then you ran. I know about Ivy. I know she made you think you failed, you petulant, proud, egotistical basket case. I know about the night you disappeared. I know about Matilda.
I actually don't know about Matilda.
I'm Matilda.
Ivy kept the whole thing going without us knowing. For the record, she's smarter than you.
Are we not mad at Ivy anymore?
Shh. Roger, don't go near her.
Why is she?
She's not yours. She's not yours to mess with. We should all just leave her alone. I should go.
Wait, Jamie, don't go.
Are you kidding?
Please. We all have unfinished business.
Of course we do. And we're not finishing it tonight. She gets tonight to think.
What about...
You have to leave. She has nothing to do with you.
Okay. Roger reaches out a hand and touches the "Hi, my name is" sticker. Jamie grabs her belongings from the counter, but forgets her new phone. Jamie opens the door.
Good night, Matilda.
Good night, Jamie.
Roger and Jamie exit. The lights go down, except for Matilda's red light, which stays on. Jamie's phone starts to ring. The screen lights up.
Hello? Jamie? Anyone there? It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to.
The stage remains empty and dark, except for the two lights of the phone and Matilda. Matilda starts humming music, louder to cover up the sound of the ringing, but the phone call doesn't stop. Slowly, Matilda's volume increases to cover up the phone's ringing, but the phone keeps ringing underneath. Lights down. The end.